Well, UK watchdogs have blocked Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard over concerns that the deal would damage competition in the gaming space and harm innovation. Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley is here with us to talk us through that and what's going on in big tech more broadly. But let's talk about this deal first, because there was some murmurs ahead of time that it could get blocked. We didn't expect it would happen today, right? And so how big of an obstacle is this? This
is a big obstacle. Microsoft is now going to have to appeal this decision from the CMA. And, they say that they're going to. We actually have a statement from Microsoft President Brad Smith. He says, "We remain fully committed to this acquisition and will appeal. The CMA's decision rejects a pragmatic path to address competition concerns and discourages technology innovation and investment in the United Kingdom." So kind of hitting there at the UK at a time when they're also dealing with high inflation. And then Activision Blizzard, a spokesperson, said the CMA's report contradicts the ambitions of the UK to become an attractive country to build technology businesses. "We will work aggressively with Microsoft to reverse this on appeal. The report's conclusions are a disservice to UK citizens who face increasingly dire economic prospects. We will assess our growth plans for the UK. Global innovators, large and small, will take note that despite all its rhetoric, the UK is clearly closed for business." So really strong words there from both Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. And this deal, this would have been the largest acquisition by Microsoft. The reason why they're doing this is twofold. They want Call of Duty. It's a huge franchise. Last version made $1 billion 10 days after its release. So, that's a good amount of cash to be pulling in. And the other thing is this still nascent cloud gaming market. And Microsoft right now is just, beating the pants off of Sony. NVIDIA, Nintendo's not even part of that conversation right now. They have their Xbox Cloud, the Xbox Game Pass with Cloud offering. It's $14.99 a month. I have it. I love it. You get easy access to games. Look, if Microsoft is eventually able to get Call of Duty and other Activision Blizzard games, it would be massive. The issue here, and the FTC points this out, which is also suing to block this deal. They say that Microsoft had previously gone back on assurances that they would allow some games to be available to third parties like PlayStation when they acquired ZeniMax. And their company, Bethesda Softworks. There's a huge game coming out from them that was originally going to be on PlayStation, is now not going to be on PlayStation, going to be an Xbox exclusive. And look, exclusives are really what matters here. If you're going to sell consoles, people are going to do it based on what games they can get for them. The cloud kind of starts taking that away, though. And Microsoft is aggressive as hell when it comes to the cloud. You get a Samsung TV, It's got Xbox Game Pass built in now.
Well, so Microsoft also, of course, on the other side of this, they had some very kind of gleeful moments yesterday after they posted a big earnings beat. Its cloud services revenue grew. The company continues to play up its generative AI ambitions. On the earnings call, CEO Satya Nadella ramped up its competition against Google in the search engine space. I want to play this clip from the call for some of our viewers.
As we look towards a future where chat becomes a new way for people to seek information, consumers have real choice in business model and modalities with Azure-powered chat entry points across Bing, Edge, Windows, and OpenAI's ChatGPT. We look forward to continuing this journey in what is a generational shift in the largest software category, search.
So you and I were listening into this call, and I didn't get your vibe from the Microsoft call now that I think about it. I mean, when you think about how they are going up against each other and now how Microsoft is trying to make Bing a thing and make generative AI that next leg of growth for it, can they do that? You said you already started to use Bing a little bit more.
Yeah, look, I use Edge a lot. Okay. I don't use Chrome anymore because it's just, Chrome is a problem on itself. Anybody who's, a tech nerd is like, just eats up resources. And so Edge is a little bit better when it comes to that. Bing is still not as good as Google as far as, when I'm doing searching. But my vibe from the call was they took the gloves off and just, cold cocked Google right there with that statement. Just like, look, we're coming for you. And, I think they said that what was it? Every % of market share they grab is $2 billion. So they're just, look, if they could start chipping away at Google there, then that's going to be how they do it. And Google, for its part, is saying, oh yeah, we're going to add, chat capabilities to search. It's coming. We have Bard out there in test. But Microsoft is doing it, right? And that's the difference. And not only are they doing it with search, with chat, they're also adding it to their other services. So, Google did that with their kind of workspace services, right? With Google Docs and Sheets and all that. But Microsoft's adding it to cybersecurity. They're adding it to Dynamics 365. They're adding it to Microsoft 365. So it's across their stack right now that they're throwing this technology in. It makes them look like they are just crushing Google in a place that Google helped create. They're part of the reason why this transformer technology exists, right? So the fact that they're beating Microsoft, I mean, it's got to send shivers up the spines of the executives there and investors at for Google.
One interesting thing, though, I find about this whole chase for search is, yes, I recognize that search is an enormous business, but it's also a very challenged business right now. So Microsoft going after a business that, yes, because of economics, right? It's a cyclical business. The economy is challenged right now. So Google already losing some momentum for that reason. But you have to wonder over the longer term. I mean, you tend to see ad trends shift over time. And so I wonder if search ads are going to be as important as a part of either of these companies' businesses 10 years from now, for example?
It's a good question. I think the proof that it's a good move or a smart move is when you look at what Facebook has been dealing with, or Meta, whatever you want to call them. I'm just going to call them Facebook. But they're dealing with a bigger depression in ad sales than Google is with search, right? And, I think...
in a different part of the ad business.
Right, exactly, yeah. So I think that's kind of the proof that, look, this is, a way for them to continue to move forward. People are still going to use search, maybe in different ways, right? But I think that's something that's important enough for Microsoft to make this huge move. By the way, there was murmurs that they may be working with Samsung to make Bing the default search engine on Samsung phones. There was a rumor going around about that, and that would be huge. Samsung runs on Android. If you pull up search, you're going to be using Google. So, Samsung is one of the largest manufacturers of smartphones on earth. If Microsoft can get Edge in there, or Bing in there, rather, that would be massive for them.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge play there, potentially. Yahoo Finance's own Dan Howley breaking all things big tech earnings now. We've got even more big tech earnings to come as well over the course of this week. Meta, you mentioned, and of course, Amazon tomorrow here. Thanks so much, Dan.